Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. I've been meaning to talk about this for a while, and since the XRP price has been going up and the crypto market seems to be stabilizing, now seems like a good time to do so. It seems like a good moment to discuss this, and since it is Sunday, I figured we could all use a bit of levity. Coinpedia's CEO explains why the recent news about Ripple's governing board caused a 5,002% increase in trading volume for XRP, which, by the way, is completely insane. In my 5.5 years working in crypto, I have never encountered anything like this. It's beyond the realm of sanity at this point. Even now, I can only see this as a preview of greater things to come. Since it is certain, in my opinion, that markets will go crazy at some unspecified time in the future. Oh my God, look at all these people. This is why I refuse to accept, even for a second, that the safest bet is that XRP will never again surpass its previous record high. It's crazy to think that January 4, 2018, was XRP's all-time high. It seems to be approaching. One of my fellow XRP YouTubers recently posted a graphic that, in my opinion, beautifully illustrates this concept, and I'd like to share it with you. And it's a good example of why you shouldn't panic just because prices are down. Because, feeling the emotions it doesn't, make sense if there's nothing fundamentally different about the situation. And also, I'd like to go into much greater detail on something I touched on briefly in the previous video. There has been an oversale of altcoins. So yeah, I'll admit right here that there's no surefire way to tell whether the market will go up or down. Simply from a historical perspective, this has always been a fantastic time to buy. There's a lot to talk about, so. But before we go any further, I should mention that I have zero experience in the financial sector. I am not giving any kind of financial guidance. Nothing I say is correct, so. You shouldn't use it to buy or sell anything. I'm just a fan who occasionally posts silly videos to YouTube regarding crypto-related things. This is a fantastic tale, I must say. Since the demand that hammered Uphold, the only US cryptocurrency exchange that was carrying XRP on July 13 when we got the legal clarity from Judge Torres, I think you guys are going to appreciate this one. Whoa, they got slammed, and yes, there are a couple other methods to buy XRP in the United States before that, but they're like, what were they? It was so there was GateHub and then Butcher, right? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Betrayed. You could utilize them, but they aren't situated in the United States, and Uphold's headquarters are in the States. For all I know, its technological headquarters are located in a country other than the United States. All I'm saying is that they haven't been exposed to or established in the United States in any tangible way. The cryptocurrency industry scored an early success in its legal battle with US regulators in July after a federal judge determined that the sale of digital asset XRP on public exchanges complied with securities rules. Now, the head of an online financial platform has described how trading volume suddenly skyrocketed following the historic news. Within minutes of the news, Uphold saw a remarkable 50x jump in trading volume compared to the top of the 2021 vote, according to an interview Simon McLaughlin gave to Zach Rector. It's worth pausing to recall that on July 13, when this occurred, Uphold was unavailable for a short while. Normally, when something like that occurs, I merely roll my eyes. But, look at them, they were the only source for XRP and they were huge proponents of the XRP community. I was happy to forgive them because I knew they were based in the United States. Having learned this, and hearing CEO Simon McLaughlin describe the events of that day, to be quite frank, I have no problem giving them a pass on this. I find it to be extremely fair, and I find it to be more ridiculous when, say, 3 days ago, Coinbase was down, like when Coinbase went down. And it's not because of one coin, they still can't handle the volume despite having realized, based on what happened as recently as 2017, that volume is an issue. This is not the Simon Baclofen recount you're expecting. So, I'll end this with a statement he made. He said that our platform was the only one in the US to provide XRP trading. Minutes after the announcement, volume had already increased by a factor of 50 compared to its all-time high during the 2021 bull run. It wasn't even the amplification of sound that did it. Because of how quickly this spread, our traffic increased by 50%. That it happened after a single tweet without any true state of flux is insane. Take note that he did not only assert that the volume increased by a factor of 50 at that precise instant. According to him, the volume increased by a factor of 50 in just 3 minutes from the 2021 bull run's climax. This sort of thing never, ever happens. This probably wouldn't have occurred if the time frame were longer. This, however, is unprecedented. And everything checks out, because they did have measures in place to prevent this kind of occurrence, which doesn't sound completely implausible. Let me continue a bit more, but what happened is so unbelievable that it is worth quoting him on it. Moreover, I continue to believe that this is just a taste of what will happen the next time the cryptocurrency market is euphoric, and that we, as holders, are likely to get our predictions right. Even though they had tested their platform from high quantities before, the unexpected and faster surprised them, as the CEO explains in the continuation of the piece, and so they ran into problems during the sudden spike. Uphold, however, has recently implemented significant system modifications to guarantee that the company will be better equipped to deal with similar crises in the future. Another quotation, this presented formidable difficulties. We had already run tests on the platform at 10x volumes, the expected market peak in 2021. However, this time around, we weren't expecting the spike's intensity to drop off so suddenly. Since then, we've implemented a number of fixes to guarantee there won't be any more issues with quotes. So, keep in mind that they anticipated a tenfold rise in volume from the pinnacle of the 2021 bull mark, again, not from the current situation, but from the peak of the 2021 bull market. A multiplication by 50, if that wasn't enough. Even if they'd simply had adequate bandwidth for a 40-fold increase, the plan would have fallen short. Consider that. That's so ridiculous it's laughable. This is understandable, and I suppose I can forgive them for that, but at least they seem to have worked out okay. Now we need to play in an even more unusual and presumably otherwise ridiculous fashion. At the end of the paper, it is stated that the authors explore the current market climate and the recent increase in volatility. He also discussed the promising future of XRP ledger-based automated market makers. Simon maintained his commitment to investigating this field in light of the potential for ROI for its users. There's also this from one of my XRP friends, Kevin Cage, a YouTuber. This graph displays the exchange rate between XRP and USD. And he put in writing what follows. It's important to find OC not driving or something like. Definitely check it out. But here's what Kevin Cage wrote about XRP every day, in the 500D 500 format you know and love. Constantly, I'm brought back to the year 2020. I apologize, I missed writing the word. I messed up the timing, and now it's late 2020 instead of before the lawsuit was announced and there were accidents on the way up to the roof and you can't see inside. Now, then, what do we have here? I'm circling the mouse in the spot where he made this little oval shape in the latter half of the year, 2020. You are well aware of the outcome, of course. So, XRP is making a significant ascent. Gaining ground, now over 80 cents. I saw it before they withdrew the lawsuit in 2022. The lawsuit's priority fell once the news broke, but it hasn't been resolved yet. Right. And before that, XRP had a move to the upside and fell to the negative, so the point is we've seen something like this before. He then mentioned that something similar occurred earlier this year in the UK, beginning around April or thereabouts, and that the corresponding graph or chart in the UK would appear very similar. And then what happened was a huge upward swing, with XRP going as high as 90 cents, which is the highest I've seen it go, although some people are saying it went as high as 93 cents, which is fine. It all depends on the reliability of the information we're using. However, a few days ago, the crypto markets fell due to a clear movement to the downward. However, I stress this because, and only because, you can observe such dramatic changes. Massive gains, massive losses, and a run, that's the pattern we've seen before. That's right, we've seen it before. Actually, another story that I want to tell you but do not have the time for just occurred to me at this moment. The highest XRP had reached at that point in time was probably around half a penny, although I could be wrong. That being said, don't rely on me. But I have a hunch that it was around 6 cents at most. I recall paying around 6 cents, but I may have misremembered. However, even it was that would be significantly higher. Even if that's the right one, it's a huge jump from the 0.5 cents it was at the start of 2017 to the 6 cents it is now. But the point is that XRP ran for a few months up to something like 42 or 43 cents, and then it plummeted back down to when I bought XRP for them for the first time, and I think it was like 20 or 21 cents, and that would have been November 17, 2017. Also, I forget exactly how low XRP went in between those 2 points, but it was probably around 10 to 15 cents. We get it, XRP has had wild runs up and down before, and each time it's crashed back down, it's never meant it was heading to zero or that it wouldn't happen again. The situation called for a new approach. And those are the last words of a famous person, right? Yeah. That's not anything in which I have any faith at all. Hence, when you see a headline like XRP is path to $1.87 expert analyst predicts 269% rally, despite recent setbacks, you know that I don't want to go through the actual technical analysis because it bores me to tears, but I still read it because I want to understand what they're the points that are going to make sure they're right. In contrast to my own outlook, I do not believe that the vast majority of individuals are primarily concerned in the outcomes of events. And I know there are some of you who enjoy digging deep into the details. That's just great with me. I'm not interested in the minutiae of life. I'd rather focus on the big picture, on what's occurring, on what's going on in the news, and on what I'm going to have to do to continue doing nothing. My goal is to buy stuff and then do nothing with it until it's worth significantly more than futures, at which point I'll give it to them and they'll be set for life. As a result, if you're a trader, you'll need to take a different approach. You see, I'm not a dealer, I just huddle. But in any case, so that these analysts can talk about dark Defender, he has amassed a sizable following of up to 92,400 at the present time. Also, he's hinting that the 9 cents he was aiming for back in May, if we get good news, might end up being a little higher. We retraced our steps, of course. But once again, that's why I felt it was important to emphasize what Kevin Gage said by merely displaying the results in a damn chart. Even though you experienced a severe setback, that doesn't indicate that something exciting can't happen in the near future. To that end, I agree. Actually, I've felt this way forever. Indeed, XRP's past is rich with similar instances. That's why it's unrealistic for you to assume that won't occur in the near future. You can't deny that things are different now. And again, I don't believe it. To me, those are just famous last words. This is the lead item from today's meeting. According to sentiment analysis, altcoins are sending a bullish signal after last week's bloodbath. Sentiment, a market intelligence service, has released new information that implies altcoins may recover some of their losses from last week's dramatic slump in the cryptocurrency market. The crypto analytics system claims, after last week's slaughter, alternative coins are vastly undervalued, and investors are split on how soon the markets will rebound. 3 days ago, during the massive global market capitulation in cryptocurrency, it looked like Chicken Littles were yelling that the sky was falling. Where did the whales go? They were gorging themselves on your anxiety as you sold your cryptocurrency, the whales swooping in to scoop up the bargain. Currently, this suggests that cryptos have been historically undervalued. If they are underpriced, this is the place to be. If this is the case, then the value of these items should increase with time. Isn't that how cryptography has always operated? Using the VRV gauge of market value to realize value, the status quo holds. In a nutshell, it measures whether a cryptocurrency asset is expensive or cheap. According to Sentiment, most alternative cryptocurrencies are trading in the underboss region. Market capitalizations have declined sharply during the past week, as this quote attests. Traders, however, are sharply divided. Some people think the downturn is ended and the economy will soon start to rebound, while others are pessimistic. Nonetheless, it's impossible to deny that the typical crypto return is currently in a theoretically historic window of opportunity. Exactly. We have no way of knowing, but I'm feeling fairly good. And XRP, I saw the note at the beginning of the movie, XRP's price is great, so who knows, maybe by the time you're seeing this, it'll be even higher. We're talking about likelihood, so maybe by the time you watch this it will have dropped even further. That's exactly what Sandman's referring to. Furthermore, regardless of whether the price goes up or down, my points made in this video will remain same. You can't possibly draw any valid inferences from such a limited sample size. Keep going, thanks. Even if Bitcoin whales have been particularly active during the downturn, Sentiment says that the plunge this week was one of the biggest dips seen this year. To paraphrase, the dust has far from settled after one of the steepest price collapses in crypto markets in 2023. Since indicating Welsh participation in this dump, we have witnessed a surge in Bitcoin transactions totaling $1 million or more. However, the number of extremely wealthy individuals with Bitcoins in their wallets does not appear to be decreasing. If they're not dropping, yet they're making all these purchases, what can we conclude about their net gain? Because of the decreased prices, they are flocking here. Folks, this is hardly the end of the world. The question is, isn't it? The crypto industry is thriving at the moment. A financial advisor is not what I am. Nothing I say should be used as a basis for a purchase or sale. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.